Welcome to the Work, Wealth, and Travel podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, and this podcast is your guide to start creating a lifestyle by design. From entrepreneurship, money and finance, taxes and residencies, and everything in between, this show highlights the nuances of a true global citizen lifestyle. Let's dive in. The country of Panama has always been well known for expats, digital nomads, and global citizens. Whether you are living full-time or part-time in Panama, or if you're simply using Panama as a tax residence or residence option and not living in the country, this is an excellent place to obtain residency and tax residency. Panama is a very interesting option, and as is normal in the world of global citizen living, where we're looking at obtaining multiple bank accounts, residencies, and citizenships around the globe, Panama has certainly had some rather large changes in the last few years. So only a few short years ago, you could obtain Panama residency with a few qualifications. One of those being a 5,000 USD bank deposit, along with various other small qualifications. With this, you would be able to obtain residency in the country of Panama. A few years ago, this policy changed. And now with the Friendly Nations visa, you will need to invest $300,000 minimum. It can be higher than that amount if you are looking at obtaining the residency in Panama via a different route that is not the Friendly Nations visa. And so it changed from a $5,000 bank deposit to a $300,000 investment in real estate. And at the end of 2024, that $300,000 investment with the Friendly Nations visa in Panama is going to be increasing to $500,000. So from 5,000 USD bank deposit to soon a $500,000 USD real estate investment in the country. This is why I always recommend getting in on that residency or pathway to citizenship program while you still can. These programs are constantly changing. And unfortunately for the consumer, they are likely never going to change for your benefit. It's going to be a higher price point or a more difficult procedure to benefit the country. Now, with all of this being said, there is still a way that you can obtain Panama residence and tax residence without this $300,000 or soon to be $500,000 investment into the country. With this option, there are two different routes that you can take in order to work your way toward residency, tax residency, and even citizenship if you fulfill the correct requirements in the future in Panama. This is something that we help clients with every single week. It is a very popular option that is still on the table now. However, we're unsure if this is going to be on the table for the long term. So if you're interested in learning more, keep watching and reach out to us. All of our links are below so that we can get this process underway for you today. There are two different ways that you can opt to take advantage of the Friendly Nations visa. You do need to be a current citizen of one of the countries that is considered a friendly nation with Panama. So if you simply Google Friendly Nations visa countries, Panama, then you will see what these countries are. There are quite a few different countries. Think most Western countries around the globe. And if you do hold that passport, you are a citizen, then you will qualify for this option. If you do not hold one of the Friendly Nations visa citizenships, then there are other ways for you to qualify, but that will be through a higher investment amount. Via the Friendly Nations visa, there are two different options for how you can obtain residency and tax residency in the country. The question I get all of the time is, what are the days requirements? So let's dive into the days requirements first. They are very minimal. You will only need to be in Panama each year for a minimum of a few days. Of course, you can stay as long as you would like. You will be a resident by the end of this process, but the minimum requirement each year is going to be a few short days. And then after 2 years of temporary residence, you will be able to obtain permanent residence. And then if you meet the qualifications, work your way towards citizenship in the country. Citizenship is not as straightforward as residency. It never is in any country. There are definitely certain qualifications that you're going to need to meet. And oftentimes they want to see that you're more integrated into the culture, into the society of that country. So the first option where we can support you is through getting employed by a local company. Now, we assist with this employment. You do not need to start looking for an employer. We will provide the employer. We will also handle all of the monthly taxes and accounting that goes along with being employed by a local company. So this is one option in order to obtain that Friendly Nations visa, get residency, get tax residency, and potentially work your way towards citizenship. The other option is opening a company. And this option is clearly much more beneficial for some clients over other clients. And we will work with you on the initial call to figure out if opening a company or being employed by a local company is the best option for you. But if you do have a business or you have a business that's registered in the US or in various other jurisdictions, then this can play very nicely with a company in Panama. A nice aspect of Panama is that it is very straightforward if you have assistance to open either a personal or a corporate bank account. Or if you're interested in an expedited banking process, whether it be business or personal, then we can help with that. In 1 to 3 days, you will have the account opened in your name. There are also some crypto-friendly banks where they accept both crypto and fiat. So that's a nice option to have as well in Panama that most countries just don't offer. So these are the two options that you have if you are looking to obtain Panama residence and tax residence. I highly recommend getting in on this option if you are interested in either leaving your home country and obtaining a new country's residence, because almost every country out there is going to want to see where you are now a new tax resident of when you're leaving their system. Otherwise, they're going to want those tax dollars from you. Or if you're looking for a second, third, fourth backup residency option, then these are great programs for you, either the company formation or being employed by a local sponsor. Reach out to us below if you're interested in learning more. If you're serious about moving forward with the process, we are happy to get that underway for you, provide you with further details specific to your situation, and let you know which option is best for you. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click the video above if you're interested in learning more about some of the global citizen options that you may have when relocating abroad. You've just listened to the Work, Wealth, and Travel podcast. If anything from this episode resonated with you, I would appreciate if you share this podcast on your socials. And of course, be sure to tag me. And don't forget to leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you for joining me on this global citizen journey, and I'll see you in the next episode.